Hey guys, Bobquin here. In this video, I will cover how to dominate your lane as Leblanc. We'll be mostly going over the laning phase. I will play the lane in mostly half speed to tell you exactly my thought process behind each split second decision. We just got into level 1 skirmish. We didn't gain much from it, but the only thing we do gain from, I noticed that Ahri started charm level 1. And this tells me right away in the back of my head that her level 1 push will be significantly worse. Since we still have time, I recall and I'm able to walk back to lane with 4 HP. So since Ahri started charm, she won't be walking up to the wave and trying to throw her Q out, hitting all 6 creeps. Knowing that, I do want to get the push first and hit level 2 faster, so I start autoing the wave. I know that as soon as she sees a clear line to hit the charm, she will probably throw it out. So I walk up, just so slightly to try to bait it, and she does throw out the charm, and I immediately sidestep the charm. This puts her in a very vulnerable spot because she has no more skill up, but I still have W. So now I can position myself aggressively to deny her from CS. So here I lasted the creep. Notice that my 2 creeps are dying, and knowing the Ahri will probably come and last the creep, this will be the perfect opportunity for me to go for a harass. So as she walks up, attempting to CS, I seize this opportunity, I dash in, pop my corruption pot, auto attack, proccing electrocute. This was an awesome trade for me. Laning is all about getting the ideal trades and denying the enemy from CSing. So here, my W is coming up again. Whenever your W is up, you always want to look for opportunities to W onto the enemy. And if the enemy is smart, they will always play out of your W range. So here, I'm just hovering my W, seeing if she will get close to my range. And here, she walks slightly into it, so I immediately go for a W harass and a W back right away to dodge her charm. As an Ahri player, the perfect time for you to land charm is when the enemy dash into you. And I realized that in my head, and I immediately dash back. So here we both hit level 2. Knowing that Ahri hits level 2 and she will probably take Q next, she wants to walk up to the wave and try to push it. And she will obviously prefer to hit the wave and harass me at the same time. And I see the angle she's going for. This is the angle that she can hit all 5 of my creeps and potentially me. And I realize this is where she can possibly throw out her Q. I position myself just slightly backwards to dodge the Q completely. And here she puts herself in another vulnerable spot because she has 1 skill up, Q being on cooldown, and I have 2 skills up. So again, I can position myself aggressively and immediately go for a W harass. Even though she charms me, this is a completely okay trade for me since I proc my Q damage and overall she takes more damage than me. Here I went for another auto and Q because she walked into range. Free harass for me. As you see, she's taking a lot of harass from me at this point, and she's used both pots where I have 1 more corruption pot left. So I am winning in the trades department and health department, which is really awesome. I am slowly forcing her out of lane. She's throwing her Q out to push the wave. There's not much I can do. So here, as you can see, my cannon, my casters are both dying. They're pretty much dead if she throws out her Q. And she probably wants to walk up and throw her Q to collect all 4 of these CS. Knowing that this is what she's going through in her head, she will probably walk up and this will be the perfect time for me to W onto her and land my chain, land my Q for a good harass combo. So as you see here, my creep is dying. There's no way this Ahri will give up this cannon. Well, if she does give up the cannon, she's giving up free gold, which is awesome for me too. She walks up here, attempting to throw a Q to pick up the cannon. I realized that and I went in for a trade. Unfortunately, I did miss my chain, but I did get my Q and auto off for electric proc. So I got another really good trade off. At this point, she is out of potions and I have another potion running, so I'll be a lot healthier than her. Now here I'm just trying to make sure I collect all the CS. I'm pushing the wave just slightly back because I don't want the creep to crash under my tower. The wave crashing under my tower, meaning the wave would crash in the middle again. That's something I want to avoid because I want to freeze the wave just past the mid lane so she has to walk up to last hit, which puts her in a vulnerable spot from leasing ganks, and it's also the best time for me to harass. So right here, I know that she wants to kill the backline casters, but she's at 60% health, meaning if I W onto her and press chain, press Q, press ignite, and a couple auto attacks, she might be just dead. And she knows that really well herself, so she is playing safe, which is fine to me because she is missing all these creeps. Building small leads like this will grant me a bigger gold lead. I don't see her on the map at this point. I assume that she based because she was too unhealthy to walk up and push the wave. Here I realized she actually didn't base. She shows up to lane again. So knowing that, I want to continue to slow the wave down and last hit. Meanwhile, I'm pinging Lee Sin aggressively to come and go for this gank. So I dashed in, and unfortunately I did miss the chain, otherwise that should have been a free kill. But it's completely fine, because that way I should force her to go base, because she is at a very vulnerable spot. She has low health, and she is in danger of me tower diving if she stays. As you see in this case, she actually decided to be greedy and stay instead. The correct play here will be to just give up the wave. Sure, you will miss a few CS, but it's better than dying. I see that she's being greedy and she's staying, so I pushed the wave in an attempt to dive her, or I want to make this dive happen. So I see at this point she is around 45-50% health. As a very experienced LeBlanc player, I'm level 5, and a QW Ignite should be able to finish her off. This is just experience. So I walk up, I try to throw her Q. Try to throw my Q on her, and I finally get my Q on her. And here I notice that if I just W onto her, she should be dead along with my ignite. At the same time, she is under tower and she has charm. If I get charm under the tower, there's a very good chance that she can outplay me and kill me instead. And that is probably what she's thinking in her head, because there's no way she is under tower this low. You know, it's very sketchy, it's very fishy. She wants to do some sort of outplays. So instead, I flashed and W onto her, giving her absolutely no room to trade back. As you see there, she did flash back. She was absolutely ready for me to W in. But since I flash W'd, she couldn't react to it. I didn't have vision of Rek'Sai while I was playing the game. It seemed like Ahri was trying to set up for a Rek'Sai gank. Let's watch over that one more time. So here I finally got my Q on her. Flash W for the instant unreactable damage. She dies here. Rek'Sai comes in. Honestly, I thought I was dead here. My clone came back just in time to block the Q damage, and Lee Sin was able to show up and give me a safe back. So as you see here, since Ahri died, she'll be missing this entire wave, and that is going to be an EXP lead and a gold lead for me. Luckily, I based on 1100 gold, so I was able to buy my sorcery boots, my tier 2 boots. And against a champion like Ahri, buying tier 2 boots is much better than rushing Lost Chapter, because Ahri is a very skill shot dependent champion. Her Q and her E are all skill shots, and by rushing boots, having higher movement speed, you have a very high chance of dodging them. And once you dodge them, you can pretty much, have a much higher chance of winning the lane. I get hit by a charm here, very nicely done by her. And I know that if I get hit by the charm, the best I can do is at least get a trade back. So I went in WQ and got a decent trade back. So here I notice that my bot lane is actually coming up to roam to gank the Ahri. I have already typed that Ahri doesn't have flash in chat, and seeing this and seeing how the way Ahri is playing, there's no sign of her backing off, and she's kind of walking up. So I realized that she definitely has no clue that my bot lane is roaming. So knowing this, by standing in the top side of the lane, it makes her want to play to the bottom side of the lane. She doesn't want to stand here because it would be a lot closer, and she doesn't win currently because I'm level 5 and she's level 4. So by standing on the top side, it will most likely make her move to the bottom side. Same thing if you want to move to the bot side, she would probably play to the top side somewhere. So I position myself on the top side. It pushes down to the bottom side where my bot lane is just ready to collapse. Okay, she throws out her Q, doesn't matter. I throw out my Q, my Twitch shows up, my Pike shows up. At this point, she is completely dead, and I'm just trying to make sure I get the last hit on this kill. Okay, again, she's gonna miss this entire cannon wave and possibly the next wave as well. So I will stay and take a tower plate, extending my goal lead. I take a tower plate here. And here my Lee Sin pings me aggressively to help him with Scuttle Crab. So instead of killing the next wave, I went to help my jungler. There's going to be many times in solo queue, your jungler asks you for help and you guys don't get anything in return. It's perfectly fine, because 5 times out of 10, nothing will happen. The other 5 times, you might pick up a free kill. So I recall here, I purchased a Dark Seal and Amtome, and I'm really ahead of this Ahri in terms of gold, I believe. Since Ahri came back to lane first and was able to get the shove, I ping my bot lane that Ahri is currently missing, so they won't die to the Ahri roam. If you tab here, you can still see that Ahri is still level 5, and I made sure my team knows that, and she has no flash. So I want to kill her one more time, preferably, before she hits level 6. When she turns level 6, This is where Ahri becomes very slippery, and it makes the gank almost impossible because, you know, 3 dashes, that's more than enough to get away from anything. So I ping my Lee Sin, and since I'm level 6, if I can land just one of my 2 chains, we should be able to easily pick up this kill. So let's play this in half speed again. So I dash in. Luckily, my chain connects, and I dodge the charm. By landing the first chain, you're obviously going to hit the second one, and then my Lee Sin comes in, throws her Q, throws his Q, and we pick up this kill. Really well done by the both of us. I see that Ahri has returned to lane, and she is still currently level 5, so I know that we can possibly get another free kill onto her just before she turns level 6. So I call my Lee Sin, and as soon as I see an opening, I W into her. Even though I do miss my chain, I see my Lee Sin connects with the Q. I was like, okay, if I just throw my Q out and ignite, the Q from Lee Sin executing Q damage should be able to finish her off. So I tank the tower for him, drop my ignite, drop my Q, a couple auto attacks. Even though I couldn't hit my chain, we still pick up another free kill. And she's down 2 levels. So at this point, this game is pretty much over for her. There's no way for her to come back into the game. I'm in a very good position to carry the game by myself. When you're playing Leblanc, it's very important to set up and communicate with your jungler to abuse the enemy mid laner. Your chain is the most effective tool to set up ganks. By landing your chain, you're guaranteed to have the enemy rooted for 1.5 seconds, where your jungler can just come in and blow all his combos onto the champion. Most likely pick up a free kill, if not a flash, for the very least. So as you see throughout the whole entire game, after I got the solo kill onto Ahri, I was able to consistently call my jungler and push my lead to punish the Ahri for being overextended and having no wards. Okay, she lands a very nicely done charm. Whenever she lands charm, you do want to trade back, so you're making sure she just doesn't get the free trade off. I believe Rek'Sai is on a ward at this point, so my team pings me aggressively that Rek'Sai could be near the area, and I play back, and I just want to pick up this wave under my tower. At this point, I don't really need any help from Lee Sin. I'm already 2 levels up, I have flash, I have, you know, all my combos, all my cooldowns up. And I drop a ward on the top side of the map because I can. Also because our bottom side vision is very awesome. Don't need any more vision on the bottom side. So here, as long as I know Rek'Sai's position, I can pretty much dash in at any time, at any point in the game in lane, just to harass her and bully her out of lane. And she knows this, so she just runs away from me. She knows I might be cutting her off, so she decides to take the long way, which, you know, she won't be lane time to pick up the wave. She might just pick up a few, but she still misses 2 CS at least. Here Silas actually walks over a ward, and my top laner Rise pinged me that Silas has pushed me in and he could potentially be going mid. Knowing this, I don't want to. I currently have a bounty on me. I want to make sure I don't give this kill for free. I back off, and my Pyke comes mid to clear the wave, which is really great. Lisa's on the top side. I can play as aggressively as I want. Right here, I auto attack the backline, 1 auto attack on each, because if I do this, I can W onto the wave and it will make her wide open for chain. I W in, I one-shot the wave completely. Unfortunately, she sidestepped my chain once again, so we were able to not get the free kill or blow her flash or ultimate. Again, once you hit around level 7 to 9 on LeBlanc, you can auto the backline with the caster minions once, and you can W onto them, one-shotting all of them, and look to land a chain. When you're playing against LeBlanc, people like to hide behind their caster minions, and by doing so, you will leave the enemy completely exposed. So here, she walks up into my W range for some reason. She took the full W damage, and I was able to land my E onto her. By landing the first E, you can land your second E. And I throw my Q out, and I got a really fat trade onto her, back onto her. I see Rek'Sai tunneling over the wall. I had no vision, so I panic flashed, which is fine because my team is just right next to me. So I know that Ahri was extremely low from the trade earlier. I want to be able to push the wave in as fast as I can to deny her the wave and recall and come back to lane and keep punishing her. I didn't have vision of Ahri, but since she was so low, I was very certain that she based. And after I push the wave in, I do the same thing, and she will miss this wave completely. So I walk back to lane. I see that Ahri is trying to hard push. I have my ultimate on W at the moment, so she steps really close. I use my ultimate for gap close, and I throw a Q out and my W, and auto attack would trigger the electric Q damage. So that was a huge amount of damage, and I took no damage in return. And I W back to my original spot, juke the minions, juke the charm. I let my chain, I let my Q, and she was forced to flash. Because if the chain connected, I can just throw my ignite out, and she would have been dead. She's very low. She has to back it once again. And here I can just push the wave in one more time, and she will miss, another wave. I had a blast making this video, and I really appreciate you taking the time to watch it. I'm excited to see you guys win more Leblanc games by applying the tips I shared with you. I'll be making a lot more guides and videos, so make sure to subscribe and share this video with a friend.